What's up, nerds? It's your boy, the OGGM, coming to you live on a Monday morning, about 8:04 in the morning, here on the 11th day in September in the year of our Lord Steve the Cat, 2023. I should warn you, this broadcast might be stopped any minute because Steve the Cat is being very clingy today, so you might jump in my lap, which is not a bad thing. In case you didn't know it, I am your humble guide to all the tabletop role-playing game news, weather, and general internet nonsense that is the OGGM, broadcasting live from Site B on a small island off the coast of Costa Rica, or am I? And it's Monday, and on Monday we take a look at all the tabletop role-playing game freebies, sales, and of course the charity bundles. Don't be jealous because I do that. I'm pretty and I just can't help it. All right. Nothing really stands out considering the time of year and the day. I was kind of expecting different things to be up for grabs this week, but it isn't. The only thing that really stands out to me are there's a couple back to school sales, but they're not really. Anyways, we'll get to them when we get to them. Let's start with the freebies. But remember, as always, these are PDFs, digital product. They do not exist in the real world. So do not get upset if when you purchase one of these, it does not come with the physical editions like figures or dice because they're digital. And second, because these are digital products, before you download and install any of these, especially the VTT files or the 3D printers files, please, for the love of John Cena, check them for viruses and malware, because yes, that is still a thing, ladies and gentlemen. That is still a thing. And in regards to the charity bundles, if there's a charity you want to give to, maybe just give them the money directly and skip the bundles. I'm probably getting in trouble for saying that, but just generally, I would say just give the whatever. Yeah, you know what I mean. Blah. All right. Freebies first. Nothing really stands out. I thought we would have some more Halloween themed or some 9/11 themed because it is 9/11. But no, it's just sort of a general rundown of meh. First off, on drive-through from OSR2E RPG GM Sebastian, we have Rites of Transmutation, which talks about the transmutation from one version to another version of a certain role-playing game in the late 80s, early 90s. So it's more of a narration than an actual game, but talks about how, one game sort of transitioned into becoming a completely different game between the end of the 80s and the end of the 90s. Now, I'm not speaking of any specific game, Dungeons and Dragons, or how, it changed ownership. But yeah, if you're interested in sort of one individual's view of sort of the hobby's shift, there you go. Or you could watch Secrets of Blackmoor, which is available for rent on Amazon for $2.99. Heretical Hedgehog has released Pick Your Poisons, a guide to inns and taverns, because there's not enough of those. We've got a Pirate Borg adventure, also by Heretical Hedgehog, called The Parrot Speaks. It is a random table about parrots, basically, for Pirate Borg. So first, that's not an adventure. That's just random tables. So, yeah, basically, you can generate a random parrot type and what the parrot might say. That could be clever. A new class has been introduced for my friend Kelsey Dion's Shadowdark RPG. This one comes from Pedro Avenue. It is called the Green Knight class, basically a paladin druid. Sort of the appeal to me for Shadowdark was the fact that it didn't have spin-off classes or subclasses. It had the core 4 and her variation on the core 4 and different ways you could take the core 4, but you didn't need extra new classes. I think once you start adding the splat, it kind of begins the downward spiral that so many other games have felt. If you're looking for easy to print and assemble miniature terrain, Crooked Staff Publishing brings us Small Tents. is a collection of small tents that you then print out, cut, fold, and there you go. Bam. It's a paper triangle that looks like a tent. Old OSR Role-Playing has released another traveler adventure for the Cephras engine. This is called Ghost Planet, continuing the exploration of their OSR Old School Role-Playing Cephras engine-inspired traveler universe. For all things traveler, I highly recommend heading on over to my friend Shoner's site. Moving on over to DM's Guild for the week, we have from Kelly Smith an adventure called Heist Baby, which is a adventure about robbing in something in Waterdeep. Because remember, kids, stealing from innocent people in D&D is good, but being polymorphed is bad. Jeff Smogies brings us a NIMBY on Elf Street, which involves a bunch of adventurers going to de-haunt a haunted house that's not even haunted, and ends up being just a fight over control of the neighborhood and having nothing to do with ghosts. So it's a political commentary on the rich moving people out of the poorer sections of Fantasy City, cleverly disguised as an adventure about a haunted house. Michelle Lebois brings us House of Ooze. This is our level 6 adventure for Dungeons and Dragons, dealing with a garden and an adventure filled with fungus and ooze, because, yeah, that has never been done before. Chris Yeo has released something called Roadside Encounters, which is, not surprisingly, a series of randomly generated encounters of things that might waylay characters as they are traveling from one place to another place. And finally, lightning round. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 new adventure maps. We have 1, 2, 3 new monsters, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 new subclasses, including the Baker subclass, because there's something you've always wanted to play in a dungeon, a Baker. Hold on, Mr. Mindflayer, but before you polymorph me, can I interest you in a French roll, perhaps? Or maybe you're more of a pumpernickel bagel man. Yes. The Baker class. Sure, why not? At this point, why not? Moving on to sales. Fantasy Grounds is having a back-to-school sale. This expires today at midnight, and it features a whole bunch of terrain for Fantasy Grounds. Drive-Thru has a back-to-school sale of assorted settings. Actually, it's mostly superhero settings. So basically, they're having a superhero role-playing game sale, and they're calling it the setting sale. And there's a few other games in there. 80% off. That ends tonight again at midnight, a back-to-school sale. So if you're looking to pick up a setting that you maybe don't have yet for real cheap, like Mass or Spycraft or something like that, it's available. The DM's Guild is having a back-to-school sale with over 175 e-titles, including Roll20 conversions, marked down up to 40% off, and that ends next week. Then there is another Dungeon Masters Guild back-to-school bundle. This one is $58.78 and includes a whole bunch of best-selling titles that have been best-selling on the DM's Guild, like Dante's Guide to Hell. Because remember, hell is okay, but being polymorphed is bad. Son of Oak Game Studios recently released the Queers tabletop role-playing game, which is a powered by the Apocalypse role-playing game about LGBTQT Super Sentai. Because, sure. And that's $30. Apps has released Capital Ship Deck Plans, a collection of maps for Roll20 of spaceships, and that's $24. And the only reason why you're paying that much is because they're VTT files of things you can find online for free. Alpha Strike Games has brought us the Mars Map Pack for $3, featuring maps of Mars, which I'm pretty sure you could also find for free online from NASA. And moving down to the charity bundles. As always with the bundles, I highly recommend maybe giving directly to the charity instead of picking up the bundle. We have a bundle for Marjorie Baker. As you know, Marjorie Baker is dealing with breast cancer. She is one of the main engines in gaming lately, creator of Powered by the Apocalypse. They're trying to raise funding to pay for the breast cancer surgery and, of course, the post-surgery recovery for her and her family. So if you want to help her out, head on over to the GoFundMe. John Kovic, creator of Munchkin and Dork Tower, is doing his annual bike ride for charity. This year is for food banks. He rides around in his area of the woods, all dressed up and wearing a hat with a duck on it. And he rides to earn money for awareness of poverty and supporting food banks. So if that's something you want to check out, help him out. Sleepy Sasquatch is still doing their fundraiser to help fund the medical issues for Gizmo the dog. $20 goes directly to Gizmo, and you pick up everything that Sleepy Sasquatch Games has ever made so far, which is mostly solo RPGs. But hey, doggo. So, you know, if anything needs our money to make it through a hard time, it's a dog. So God, you know, help out Gizmo. We have the Delta Green Mega Bundle from Ace Publishing. That's over at Bundle and Holding. It features pretty much everything that's ever been made for Delta Green. It's $8, and that goes direct relief, which means 10% of whatever you deposit, it goes to a charity of your choice. We also have another Delta Green bundle that's also on Bundle of Holding. This one is called the DAG Assets Pack, which features a collection of assets, i.e. pictures, maps, and stuff of Delta Green modern day type things like, I don't know, buildings, you know, art and templates and maps of just buildings. The Atomic Robo bundle is still available from Evil Hat. This features all the Atomic Robo bundles that was ever made. I believe it has like 12 different books in there. So it's everything that's ever been done for the Atomic Robo setting. It's a comic book series. And that is $13, and it's direct relief, which means 10% of whatever you donate goes directly to a charity of your choice. Pellegrin Press has released a Trial of Cthulhu bundle with a library of books for the Gumshoe-based Lovecraftian RPG. It's got 21 plus titles for these Cthulhu-esque role-playing game, because when in doubt, make a Cthulhu game. $18 is the most popular pledge, and it goes to Cancer Research. Goodman Games has their huge Dungeon Crawl Classic Mega Bundle out with over 75 products for DCC. DCC, of course, my favorite 5e OSR OGL retro clone of the 700 that are out there and the 4 or 5 I've read or played. Sorry, Kelsey, DCC still is my favorite. It is $25, and it goes to help support food banks in the area. And that is it. As I said, nothing that really stands out. A lot of back-to-school sales. But yeah, kind of a slow week for bundles. Don't know what to tell you. All these bundles can be found in Drive-Thru, RPG, Game, DM's Guild, RPG, Humble Bumble, or Bumble of Holding, and they are all PDFs unless I specifically say otherwise. If you want to pick any of those up, let me know what you think. How do I fill in this black space here? You know, this giant black space that is around my head. There should be a way to fill that in with a picture or something, because I know other YouTubers do it, but I don't know how, because I'm dumb. D-U-M. That's it for today. Let me know what you're thinking about these products. And yes, it is back to school time. I know. As soon as we have to start going Halloween shopping for leftover candy, and then start thinking about Christmas, because times, they are changing. See you all later.